Welcome to another video of Nerdy Tech Tips channel. So finally I have received my package. Hopefully it is Raspberry Pi. I have been waiting for this for a few days now. So finally it has arrived. So let's open it up, see what we have received and what we have got along with Raspberry Pi board. Because you can buy Raspberry Pi board by itself, but I did made some purchases like heatsink and a memory card separately. And who doesn't like popping these? Let's move on. So over here we have a USB-C adapter. I did have USB cables lying around, but still ordered this one. And after that we do have an original Raspberry Pi case, which I didn't have to pay. It just came with Raspberry Pi board. And this is our bill. I guess we should hold on to it for warranty purposes. Well, it depends on you. And this is Raspberry Pi board. It has 8 gig of RAM. Plenty, yeah? We can install pretty much any operating system on it, as long as they support ARM CPU structure. We will be trying Windows 10 in one of the videos, and I'll show you guys how it works, what are the performance. And over here we do have HDMI cable, which is mini HDMI to normal HDMI size, because it does support up to 2 HDMI and 4K resolution. And let's get started. As you can see on the board, this is all we have. And one last thing, I actually forgot to show you that we need one more thing, which is an SD card. Now I do have 32 gig card, but you can use any size card you may wish to. Now the minimum you want to use is 8 gig. Don't want to go below than that, otherwise it wouldn't be very much fun, because you want to install multiple operating systems and get whatever you can get out of your Raspberry Pi. It is pretty powerful little device. On this USB-C adapter, I was trying to see what actually watts are, but it did not say anything. However, it does output 5.1 volts. That's what it says on it. So over here, next thing, we're gonna open it up a Raspberry Pi case. As you can see, there are no screws involved. At least it's easy to open it up and close this case. It just opens by holding and applying pressure on these specific spots. As you can see, it's really easy to open. We do have something in there, but I'm not quite sure what are these little buttons for, but we will figure it out. Now we should close this case and we will move on with our Raspberry Pi board. Let's see what we have inside and how does it look. I am very excited to get this board. I may not sound like one, but really I am. At the bottom of this case, we have a memory card slot, and on this side of the board, we have 5 ports, 1 gigabyte port, 2 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0. And let's see what else we have. There are a few ports on this side of the board as well. There are 2 HDMIs. One is headphone or speakers, whatever you want to plug it in. So next thing is, you can see over here is a camera connector, and then we have a display connector. They're called CSI camera connector and DSI display. Over here we have a power over Ethernet connector, and this is what we really have. And also a USB-C charging port. I really want to test if we can use USB-C docking with this board. Something to look forward for our next video. I hope you wouldn't mind subscribing my channel, because if you don't want to miss out on the next video what we can attach, what attachments it does support, and what will work and what will maybe not work. So we can test that. I will be making a specific video on that, but for now let's get started with this board and let's see what we have. So I did order these 3 heat sinks. To be honest, I'm not quite sure where they go, so don't count on me on that, but I'm going to put them on this Raspberry Pi board wherever I think we might be facing a heating issue. We need to keep our Raspberry Pi cold. I mean, as much as cold possible. We can't really cool it down below 0 degree, or it's not gonna work out. But I'm not sure it's gonna do that. Getting a 60 Celsius or over, I think it's good. But if it's going above 80 or 90, you're gonna face some issues with your Raspberry Pi. So get along with it. Get a Raspberry Pi fan if you would like to for the heat sinks, but we will see how things turns out. So over here we are putting our memory card into a system using this transient memory card reader. So now we are on our computer here. As you can see, I am on raspberrypi.org downloads page, and over here you can see there is option Raspberry Pi image of Windows. However, there are a few more options here. Raspberry Pi and Raspberry Pi for noobs. Noobs is pretty easy install. You just copy and paste it and it will run it. But I do like to try new things and challenge myself. So we are going to give it another option a try, which is Raspberry Pi image for Windows. Below is the supported operating systems. So let's click on Raspberry Pi image of Windows. When you click on it, it will download a exe file. Download it, install it, and rest along. Follow the steps that you see on the screen. It's pretty easy to install this software, and then you will get further options what operating system you want to install on your SD card for your Raspberry Pi. First, I'm going to give it a try to Ubuntu if I can find Ubuntu image in this Raspberry Pi software. Let's get started. Let's run it up. It was pretty fast to actually install this software. I didn't really skip anything over here. As you can see, there are a few operating systems over here. We do have Ubuntu. I'm pretty confused which one I should install or try because there are more flavors than I expected. But I'm gonna go ahead with Ubuntu, and I'm going to install Ubuntu 18.04. Now it doesn't really say it's Ubuntu 18 or 18.04, but it is Ubuntu 18 at least. We're going to choose our SD card here. As you can see, there are multiple drives attached to my computer, but make sure you do select your memory card and not nothing else. Otherwise, you will end up losing your data. Now, I'm speeding up this process. It's not that fast. I speeded it up. It does take a time because it does download and write it on your SD card at the same time. Once you're done, take out your memory card, put it in a Raspberry Pi, plug everything in, and after plugging everything in, that's what I'm getting. It's not starting it up. It's not booting up from the Ubuntu, whatever we got from Raspberry Pi software. It did put an image on it, so there is no power button. I can't really restart it. I had to take out the power supply. But in meanwhile, I just wanted to see how hot this thing is getting. Now it's getting pretty warm. It's not that hot that it will hurt your fingers, but I can say it's 40 Celsius or something. But it is pretty hot. You can tell if you touch it. Even the bottom of the case was really hot when I was feeling it. So I was pretty surprised how hot this thing gets. It's not even booting up properly, so nothing is really going on. It is just basically trying and giving us an error, but this little thing is still getting hot. So I put the memory card back in. As you can see, now I am installing Raspberry Pi. I mean Raspbian OS on this SD card because I want this to boot it up. At least I will know there's nothing wrong with my Raspberry Pi. That's all I want to test for now. So it was taking a bit longer to install Raspbian OS on SD card, and I did speed up this part of this video. So don't count on this video that it's pretty fast. It is actually slow writing Raspbian on an SD card. Now finally done it and booting up the system. It is booting up to the Raspbian OS. It looks beautiful. But my Bluetooth mouse and keyboard isn't working, so I decided to VNC to this Raspberry Pi. So since it was booting up, but it wasn't picking up my Bluetooth keyboard and mouse for some reason, I had to restart and make it work. But still, I did not have any way of doing a screen recording on Raspberry Pi, so I did intend to use VNC Viewer. And I will show you what actually you need to do to make your VNC Viewer work. You can SSH to your Raspberry Pi, still you need to enable SSH and VNC Viewer in preferences on your Raspberry Pi. But for VNC Viewer, you need to install VNC Viewer application as I'm doing on this. You don't need to install VNC server software on your Raspberry Pi because it comes with Raspbian OS. So yeah, it's already there. And also SSH capability is also there. You need to enable both of them. Now, since we have done that part, let's see if we can VNC to our Raspberry Pi. As you can see, we are able to VNC to our Raspbian. And to make it work, you need to go to Raspbian preferences or configuration. Over here under interfaces, you need to click on enable VNC server and enable SSH if you want to use both of them. So that's what I did before I even VNC to that Raspbian, because I wasn't able to record the screen on Raspberry Pi. I will be testing if there is a screen recorder that I would be able to use on Raspberry Pi, but it will definitely, put a pressure on CPU performance on Raspberry Pi if I'm doing testing. So I would not use that. I would rather SSH or VNC to Raspbian. So it's easy for me to record what I'm doing and create a tutorial. So next thing, I will be installing Windows on it, and I will be installing a mail server and other server applications if I can. And let's see what else we can do with our Raspberry Pi. If you want to know how to turn this into a DNS server, a mail server, or how to run Docker on this, or how does it perform with Windows 10, make sure you like and subscribe my channel so you don't miss out on that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.